Hi, my name is Janet Zimmerman, and I'm the Director of Christian Education at Church of the Lakes United Methodist Church in Canton, Ohio. I want to show you something that perhaps you have never seen before. This is a perfect attendance Sunday school pin from my EUB church in Akron, Ohio. I earned this pin in the early 1960s. And even then, my church defined perfect as missing no more than 2 Sundays per year. So if I attended church for 50 Sundays, both Sunday school and worship, I had the equivalent of 100 hours of Christian education training in 1 year. And even though families were not as busy in the 60s as they are today, I was only able to earn this pin once. Fast forward to 2014. The average child in my church now attends 2 or 3 times a month, and usually only Sunday school or worship, not both. So that would account to approximately 24 or 36 hours of Christian education instruction per year. If a child attends summer camp, they receive approximately 16 hours a day of Christian education instruction. Multiply that times 5 days, and that comes to 80 hours a week. That is more than the average child receives in a Christian education program in my church in 2 or 3 years. We need to make the most of the elementary and youth years when it comes to faith development. The Barna Group states that 2 out of 3 Christians, approximately 64%, make their commitment to Christ before the age of 18. And another study says that most children have their entire idea of God formed and whether or not they will have a relationship with Christ before they leave the 5th grade. We all know that faith development happens in a number of ways, from formal instruction to worship to developing relationships to being in new experiences that force you to depend on your faith and having time alone with God. Christian Camps helps children and youth develop their faith in all of those ways. Plus, it has the added advantage of removing children from the distractions of everyday life, such as their iPads, video games, television. Some of the most important and life-changing decisions in a person's life can happen at camp. Self-esteem receives a boost. Memories are made which last a lifetime. Opportunities are provided for children and youth to try new experiences. They have the opportunity to spend time in nature. According to the National Youth Commitment Survey, a camping program associated with a local church is the most important denominator in a child making a faith commitment, more than a pastor, family, or friends, and twice as likely as attending a camping program that does not have an affiliation with a local church. And according to a survey by the Christian Camp and Conference Association, more than half the people in full-time ministry made life-changing decisions at camp. Some made their commitment to Christ at camp, and some learned their leadership and ministry skills while at that camp. I want to encourage you to make the investment in your children's spiritual life by sending them to one of our camps. The investments will reap dividends that last for eternity for the spiritual lives of our children and youth. Some of the most important and life-changing decisions in a person's life can happen at camp.
Just being around people who are all Christians, and doing regular activities with them helps me build my relationship with God too.
What I liked most about camp is building new and better relationships with friends and God and just trying new things.
I liked most about camp was making the things about, like, with bananas, cones, and chocolate, and then you wrap them in foil and put them by the fire.
The counselors are just lovely people. They're very nice. I like the activities that we do, and some of the worship services that we do are just fantastic.
Parents should send their kids to camp because it's good for them to learn about God.
Camp has helped me grow most of my faith by when we worship with like new friends and new people, and they tell about their experiences with God, and we can share our experiences with God, and like everyone believes in Him, so it's easier to talk to them about it and grow in your faith.
Camp helped me grow my faith with the Bible.
I'd say it definitely revealed some things that I did not know about God, and some of my emotions that I had towards God came through and showed. And that helped me to be more open in my prayer and just in my everyday life, and it helped me to just spread the word of God and to help me grow closer.
What I admire about my camp counselor is they were really kind and they liked everything that I liked and all the other kids in my group liked.
I want to encourage you to make the investment in your children's spiritual life by sending them to one of our camps. The investments will reap dividends that last for eternity for the spiritual lives of our children and youth.